Hey guys, this is Swamp Balloon Harry. Not really that much time for pleasantries or introductions. We have a breaking report, breaking news happening right now, happening out of Las Vegas. We have still an active shooter situation. This is something that went down a couple hours ago and it's still ongoing now, but it happened at the Mandalay Bay at the Route 91 Country Music Festival. Multiple shooters are possibly confirmed, and at this point, there's still a manhunt going on for another shooter. But one shooter is confirmed dead inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel, and from what we're gathering on our sources from mainstream media and on social media, is that at least 2 people are dead. It could be possibly as much as 20 people are dead, plus multiple more people are wounded, and the people who were doing the shooting were using automatic weapons. So this is a major incident that is going down in Los Angeles or Las Vegas right now, and this is still ongoing. This is still breaking. So we are, as of right now, we are going to be discussing the events that are unfolding and possible reasons why this happened and what is going to come of this. So guys, I'm going to give the floor up to an open discussion. Anybody can jump in, chime in with any information that they're getting off their social media or off of their mainstream media, websites, TV, etc. And we're going to talk about what is going on right now. And we are praying for the people in Las Vegas. We are praying for the safety of the people, and hopefully that this will come to an end very soon.
Yeah, so I was on Twitter and someone said that ISIS posted one of the Las Vegas shootings in their recruitment video. I already posted it on the chat if you need to see.
Yeah, apparently they posted under comedy. This is comedy to them.
Yeah. It was, I remember I was going on 4chan and I remember sending you a video of this Arabic YouTuber, people on 4chan claim that this guy was Muslim. He was filming the entire attack off of a 2 or 3 story balcony that's next to the, I think it was the MGM or the, where did this happen exactly? I forgot.
It happened at the Mandalay Bay. Plus, there's possible confirmed that the second shooter was shooting from the Tropicana Hotel.
Yeah, the guy was filming the entire attack while people were scattered, trying to run away from the entire, from the entire attack.
Mm-hmm.
And he uploaded this video and he posted it as comedy.
That's just so sick. I mean, but how can these people who are posting stuff as comedy, so quickly just ha ha ha, have a good laugh
videos.
when it happens to them, they cry foul and start screaming that it's the West coming to attack them. So I mean, it's a little bit of a double standard.
Well, yeah, I mean, most terrorist attacks, even if it was live streamed, you see most of these people that are presumably supporters of the Islamic State. They look at, they kind of consider Americans as their enemies. They were brainwashed to believe this kind of stuff ever since they were born.
Well, that goes into this whole hate the West mentality. Anything that is of Western culture, Western value, it is supposed to be shunned and attacked based off the past, and that's completely besides the point of what's happening right now, what's happening in our lives today. I mean, but you get this pseudo-intellectual science or the pseudo-intellectual morality that gets pushed on everybody to where you have to constantly be guilty about the West, and that's why they can use our are self-criticizing that we do to amongst ourselves against us and use it for their own advantages.
Hey,
Rubber
what's going on?
Dorky. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm good. Just heard about
Yeah,
this.
we just started the live stream. Everything is still unfolding right now. I'm seeing on Fox News right now, 12 are in critical condition, 24 wounded, at least 2 dead. But that number is probably going to rise because we see on social media that a lot of sources are saying at least 20 people have been killed so far.
You serious?
Yeah.
How many people are
Information's
thought
all
to?
still really up in the air. There's a lot of conflicting reports coming in, it looks like.
Yeah.
How many people are thought to have
shooters were
participated?
female?
Well,
Sorry, how many
I was watching at least they're saying at least 2 shooters. One is already confirmed dead inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Another one is an active shooter situation on the Las Vegas Strip. But I was watching Kaya Jones. You guys know Kaya Jones. I was watching her periscopes because she was at the event, and she was saying out of her own mouth, out of what she saw and what her friends were telling her, because they were all there, that at least 49 people have been shot, like wounded, dead, etc. We don't know the actual numbers yet, but at least, and that number is probably going to rise if this active shooter situation is still ongoing. So, like I can already see on Twitter right now, the hashtags for Pray for Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay are already trending. It's just people are. There's a downside, there's an upside and downside to social media. You're able to quickly get information spread to a lot of people quickly, but then it turns into this weird kind of like virtue signaling. I'm not trying to even say guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. It gets out of hand a little bit, and instead of like pushing for the facts or like trying to figure out the reasons, people are just going with emotion and feeling. So you have to just use those hashtags to our advantage to actually get the facts across to people. But
The biggest problem right now is that there are so few actual facts. All that we know is there are multiple shooters. We know one is down. We don't know their motivations. We know approximately what type of weapons we're looking at. We don't know anything else right now. It's still in effect. This is still happening right this second. So people are going to be flying off emotion and half-truths right now, and the most that we can do is make sure that the actual facts are refed and reinforced and just thrown out there as much as possible as they're presented to us.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little selfish with things like this. Whenever something like this happens, I have this compulsive need to I need to know what the deal is behind this, immediately. That's a problem with the internet too, instant gratification and all that.
And the problem is, if we end up with 4 dead shooters and nobody left with answers, that's just where we're going to end up. And attaching answers based off conjecture is going to do more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're putting
so we have to
a lot of people would put the cart before the horse, and then you'll just look idiotic. But
we have to exercise that patience and wait for actual information.
Some of the people who aren't exercising patience, as we were talking about before the stream started, were these anti-gun
the lobbyists.
Lobbyists and the I tweeted out a picture that Conquer sent me here.
Yeah, I sent it to him on direct messages on Twitter. Found that image on 4chan. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a little disgusting?
It shows some verified Twitter account that's saying America's war zone. We need to ban all guns. Well, we don't know what's going on right now, and I'm trolling Thomas Wichter's thread, and he's laying it into them, saying, "Hey, this is an illegal weapon which was used. This is not a part of any protection under the Second Amendment." So.
Exactly. This is already something that's illegal. That's like somebody going out and throwing a bomb into a subway station. Bombs are already illegal.
Yep.
There's no reason for us to lobby against something that's already a criminal act. But laws are also not very important to actual literal criminals.
I know, that's why gun-free zones are the stupidest thing ever to come up with, because is a criminal going to obey the orders of a gun-free zone? Of course not. They'll take that to their advantage. They'll be like, oh, look, I know that anybody in there doesn't have a gun, so I'm going to go prey on those people with my gun.
Yeah, people buy guns from the black market online, though. You know.
Yep. And
it's
you know
by no means hard to come by a gun, but what we don't need is gun ban. What we do need is sensible restrictions and background checks, and that's a whole separate issue from banning guns.
I mean, if you ban guns, criminals are going to buy it on the deep web or in the black market easily.
And it's like they're trying to sell this as the whole banning guns thing. They're trying to sell it as like a fix-all, cure-all. As soon as we ban all guns, it's going to fix everything. And you've talked to people that have totally ignored the point that you guys just made. I've talked to my dad. I've made that point, and I'm trying to remember what he said, but I'm almost positive he just fucking shrugged his shoulders like a fucking like a 5-year-old. And you're right with that point, but it doesn't matter to some people.
Guns laws in general do not matter to criminals. That's what makes them criminal to begin with. Yep, so we can ban whatever we want, and it won't matter because they will find a way to get it. Where there is a want, there is a way.
Yeah, Chicago's an example. They banned guns completely on Chicago. Like they have a lot of stricter gun laws in Chicago, and guess what's happening? I mean, there's more crime in Chicago because of that.
Mm-hmm. I always like the prohibition too, as an example.
Yeah, I mean, Honduras, they banned guns. Some of my family members had to move out from Honduras because of that. It's more crime.
But no, it's just looking like the far ends of both both far ends of the Las Vegas Strip has been it's been in full lockdown. They just put everything into full lockdown because they're trying to pinpoint where this active shooter is. So
will you define lockdown for us? I'm kind of sure, but
they've sealed off the area. Is what they've done.
They said that they finally closed off all the roads leading to and from the Las Vegas Strip, and they're starting. Yep, the entire strip is in lockdown. They're trying to they're starting to search the hotels in the immediate area for the other gunmen. And they've shut down the airport. Flights in and out of Las Vegas McCarran International Airport have been temporarily halted.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So it looks like the metropolitan area of Las Vegas right now is in one big lockdown. So the police response is you have to the police response is always, great in these situations. Like, police always go above and beyond to make sure everybody's safe. But I mean, if there's still one person left, I mean, you don't know whether or not they drop their gun and they're trying to hide in plain sight. You don't know whether or not they're trying to hold themselves up. You don't know. Maybe there's a hostage situation. We don't know. That's, of course, speculation. But it seems like this is going to be up there with one of the more severe gun shooting-related incidents in American history. Because, I mean, this is going to be up there with Pulse nightclub. This is going to be up there with Columbine. Because right now, this is not good.
Well, the scariest part, I should say, is that this was obviously well orchestrated. They're in at least 4 different locations. So if one gunman goes down, and as far as I can tell, the police are handling it very, very well, sealing off the situation and going in expecting to shoot to kill. But they've gone in with the mentality of this is going to be my last act, and they're organized enough that they're going to take out as many people as they can before that happens.
I mean, I know, Conquer, you said that, I mean, of course, like you said, this is off of 4chan, so we don't know how reliable that source is. But you said that you heard that all these gunmen could possibly be gun women.
Yeah, that's right. I've sent a tweet, which is a, what was it, like a police report. I think I put it in the chat as well. So I don't know if
I
it's
don't think there
confirmed.
would be any reports yet, just because it is all happening right this second, and it will take time for the police to actually write up those reports and process them. So I don't think there would be any actual reports yet.
Yeah, but this one's from a police radio scanner. It was uploaded by a guy named Uncle Chang, New York City. Again,
It's entirely possible that they're female.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, police radio scanner. We were told that there's 3 females. Looks like they possibly had weapons in their hands. They're complying. Well, that seems like it doesn't fit with. Well, that sounds like they could be just open carrying, because there is open carry in even in Las Vegas in Nevada. So they could just be 3 women who had their sidearms with them, and they're in a situation like that, you have to give up your sidearm.
I would have my gun out prepared to defend myself, and if an officer asked for it, I would surrender.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely the same way. I mean, if I had a weapon on my side, I would definitely have it out to protect me. But if officers see me, I'll gladly. You have to give that up, because they are trying to ascertain whether or not you are part of the party that is doing the shooting.
And that's what that sounds like to me.
You're braver than me. I would throw my gun away if I was around that.
Well, no, you don't want to do that, because then they can see, like, why are you throwing your gun away? They can speculate that you're a suspect. So you gotta.
Yeah, that's suspicious activity.
Yeah, if you're legally
okay, I put it at my feet.
Carrying, you maintain your legal status until police demand you to remove your firearm, and you comply after that. I mean,
exactly. There's peaceable surrender, which you're taught how to do when you get your carry license.
But I'm seeing on Twitter here, there are trending topics. There's trending Tropicana. There's trending Luxor. They're saying that there's a possible shooter location near the Luxor Hotel, near the Tropicana, and at the Mandalay Bay. So this could be at least 3 shooters, maybe even 4. This is still an ongoing, what do they call it, dynamic situation. This is ever changing. But I was on Thomas Victor's stream. I was looking at that. Apparently, the person who's shooting from the Mandalay Bay Hotel, who is now confirmed dead, was using an AK-47 type weapon with drum magazines, and that's accounts for the multiple ongoing shots you can hear in these videos. Like, because I was speculating with my fiance, because I got her up because I came home, I was on my phone, and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, there's a situation going on in Las Vegas. And I started showing these videos, and you could just hear this ongoing, for at least 15 seconds of just rat tat 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 tat, like bullets going off. And Fox is playing that video right now. And so that explains how you could have that many bullets happening all at one point. You have a drum magazine, because there's a little pause in between, but that's probably maybe 1 reload. I thought it was maybe if you had multiple clips, you'd have to reload a lot. But if you have a drum magazine, you could have 100 rounds in that thing ready to go. And I'm seeing on Twitter here that at least 300 rounds have been fired. 300 rounds at the main crime scene have been fired. So, I mean, this is not 300 rounds fired, 49 people injured, and from a 30-story building. I'd have to deduce whoever was doing this was of a professional nature. They weren't just some gangbanger or just some person, crazy and had a rough day. These people were planned, these people were coordinated, and they had it all ready to go to cause some damage.
All right, so I found some images from Daily Mail that popped up. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
All right, let's see this.
Will you present him real quick?
Yeah, it's already in the chat.
Yeah, let me read this. Breaking news: at least 2 are killed and 24 injured after gunman opens fire on country music festival from 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay Resort. Suspect is down after SWAT stormed the room. graphic the victims were slain at both the Route 91 Harvest Festival and the Mandalay Bay Hotel just over the road. Witnesses reported automatic gunfire coming from the hotel onto the festival and police cars below. Police said one shooter was down at around 12:38 a.m. I don't know what local time that is. They said they believe that there were no more shooters. People listening to police scanners said that the shooter was killed in the room on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay. The strip is closed down, and flights from the city's McCarran International Airport have been suspended. Unconfirmed reports have also been made of shots fired at the Bellagio Hotel and other sites in Las Vegas. Musician Jason Aldean was performing, and he got off stage. Yeah. But if this is the case, if there were if these reports are confirmed that there are shootings at other hotels, we're looking at a, I mean, I'm not trying to speculate, but turn this up a notch from just a domestic shooting incident to a possible terroristic attack going on here.
Okay, so I'm seeing from the Las Vegas PD.
Yep.
And it says, a briefing by the sheriff of Las Vegas will be held at 12:45 at their headquarters campus, and that they do not currently think there are any more shooters.
Right.
All right. So I think we can deduce from that the Las Vegas Police Department have gotten a handle on the situation, and that they are right now just locking down and
trying to help people,
confirming the scenes, the locations that they possibly have in control. So I'm seeing on Twitter. I'm looking at my Twitter feed. Like I follow like plethora of different people, like Omar Navarro. He's saying, I stand with the people of Las Vegas. Garrett Wang from Star Trek Voyager says, I'm shocked and saddened by the tragedy happening in my hometown. My thoughts and prayers are with all the victims and their families. Jesus. This is just really, really crazy going on here. This is nuts. But yeah, like as I said before the stream even started, like the first thing we have to think of is the people who are caught up in this. I mean, whether or not we find out what happened in retrospect or not, these people were attacked. These people were put in danger. A lot of these people have been severely injured. A couple of them, as of right now, have lost their lives. So we need to definitely have our thoughts and prayers go out to these people who have been forever changed and affected by this horrific act. I mean, but we have to be careful about the wordage that we use, because if you look at what happened just earlier yesterday in Canada, the terrorist attack, and even they're still trying to not call it a terrorist attack up there, but they use very soft wordage about how to go around defining the stuff to create the mentality that it's not an issue of culture or anything like that. It's just some crazy person doing a horrible, unthinkable act. But
well, we also
like
have to circumvent the emotional response. We don't want to jump to conclusions before we have actual information.
Yeah, I was about to just say the exact same thing. I mean, but everybody has these words and these thoughts running through their mind, and as you said before, we are right now in the height of this incident, and a lot of us, we could get carried away with emotion. I mean, and I'm saying that I could be one of them. I mean, I'm not trying to just paint myself as all knowing and all cool-headed about this, because after a while, like terrorist attacks or domestic terrorism, it gets at you. I mean, you find out in retrospect that it was a terrorist group, or it was a false flag done by somebody else to create a narrative, and it feels like you feel like you're getting played. You feel like you're getting played all the time, and and that's what I'm just going to end it there. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you know what I'm talking about. It feels like you can't you're not on top of it yourself. Like Rubber said when he just came in, I want to know what's going on. I want to know everything, and I want to know it now.
And the only real defense against that emotional roller coaster and that feeling of betrayal when the truth is actually known is to temper your response. We know that something terrible happened, and of course our hearts and prayers are with the victims and their families. But the more conjecture we put into why did this happen, who did this, before we have actual facts, the greater our emotional response will be, and that emotional response could be completely askew from what reality actually reflects.
Yeah, like I have a few friends that live like 20 minutes out of there, so they are fine. I had to text them though. I was like, "What the fuck's going on? Are you good?" They're good. So over in
That's
Henderson.
good to hear.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just going to say my gut feeling is that this was not an Islamic terrorist attack or anything in that. Like my gut feeling is saying that this was not having to do with Islamic terrorism.
Yeah.
Like based on the situation.
Who was saying that it could be a woman? Because I actually saw another tweet that
I
also alluded
was
to that.
I was the one who said that.
Let me find it again.
Yeah.
Maybe I can tell you who tweeted it. Ryan McKinnell.
My gut thinks that, I kind of feel like this could be an entire Islamic attack. Like, because it's not that far-fetched. You already have attacks going on in Europe. It's happening, all those same attacks are happening the same day as the same attack that's happening in Las Vegas, But
It's a very real possibility, but it's a conclusion we shouldn't jump to until we know things.
I mean, that's this whole notion of
so
like
weird.
Things come in threes, like bad things come in threes, like what happened in France, Canada, and Las Vegas. That's 3 incidents in a short period of time. I mean, like we said, that like what Nicole just said, this is speculation, but I mean, you could, by a person who's trying to use their brain and breaking it down through logic, somebody could see that how these could be connected, or there's something more nefarious going on. But like as we said, we need to take a step back and allow information to come out. Yeah, allow the people who are on the ground, who are doing the work of bringing us the information to get that out to everybody, so we can get a peace of mind of what's actually going on.
Yeah.
We know that the Las Vegas Police Department, we know that the Las Vegas Sheriff's Department are on scene, and they're investigating, and they're handling the situation as best they can, and we have to allow them patience and time to come to real conclusions on what we're looking at. And the more conjecture people throw out on social media, the harder it will be for people to see truth in actual facts. So
they'll have their confirmation bias in front of them, and they'll be like, "Nah, I'm going to disregard this. I'm going to just agree with the facts that I'm seeing that align with what I'm thinking happened."
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We already know that we have
happening.
we have extremists, we have the anti-gun lobbyists, we have all kinds of people. I just saw someone shouting at the NRA saying, "Are you happy now?" But this isn't about that. This is about these people's motives, why they did this, and we don't know that yet.
Actually not.
So we have to handle this with a measured, tempered response. Apparently, like, I'm seeing reports saying Mandalay shooter was a disgruntled fired employee. I don't know whether it's an employee who was fired from the hotel or fired from the festival that was working there, but that's another report that's coming out of Fox News right now. I'm seeing it being tweeted out. So yeah, this is just like an ongoing situation that it's so hard to sift through to whether or not to find the real to the fake, to the semi-real to the semi-fake. So
Yeah, you know what's sad? I mean, that is something that happens, right? People get disgruntled and they actually hurt other people. And if that is the case, that's it's awful because it's not their fault. It's even if it was their fault, it would be awful.
Well, I mean yeah. Go ahead, Nicole. Go ahead.
It wouldn't be the first time, though, that someone had done something truly appalling based off personal reasons like that didn't involve the victims.
Yeah, no, I know. It definitely tends to happen.
But all right, let me see if Chris is willing to get in the stream here.
Chris, wait, I'm guessing it's Chris Blake, right?
Chris Logic Media.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I sent an invitation to Tim Blake to Motivator Opinion.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought it was Chris Blake. Never mind.
I mean, because I would like to definitely hear like all different sides about this, and
I was pretty impressed with him, like that he would, come on the stream and stuff. So
yeah, he was on the stream with us a couple weeks ago, and it was a good stream that we had going. I don't know if you watched any of it or not, but I mean Tim Blake, he's got his different opinions. He's some people consider him annoying, but I actually enjoyed him being on the stream. He was quite steadfast.
He was very polite.
Yes, he's very polite.
Given our opposing opinions, particularly involving feminism, he was actually a very nice guy.
Yeah, he seeseems really interesting too. Like he's not a complete moron.
No,
he's not.
But
I mean, in my opinion, he's misguided, but
he's entitled to be wrong. That's that's his right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this, but I think I have to go.
All right, go ahead.
No problem. Thanks for hopping on the stream. It's good to actually talk to you for the first time in person.
No problem, man.
So,
thanks, Fallen.
Yeah, you have a good night. Shooting during Route 91 Harvest Festival, and that's why a lot of people were really shooting down the whole notion that it could have been a white supremacist, because people are like, oh, well, it's a country festival, it's not going to be a white supremacist.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be irrational given the predominantly Caucasian audience.
Yeah, but what's really annoying is have you guys seen how people are pushing that that meme of that dude who had the gun in his hand with the beard and the glasses, and whenever there's like a shooting, that's really sick. Like
it
they're
is.
trying to make fun. Who is that guy? What's that related to again? I forgot the guy's name, but apparently he was suspected in some other kind of mass shooting, but it wasn't him.
I was literally just looking at that meme too.
Oh, to make a murderer? That whole thing? Or maybe not. Never mind.
Well, it's people. It's kind of like a meme. It just shows some white guy, some creepy looking white guy with glasses and like a ginger beard holding up a rifle, and they use it for whenever there's like a mass shooting. They say, "Oh, the suspect was a suspected white supremacist," yada yada yada, and it's just like.
That's Sam Hyde, actually. Sorry.
Sam Hyde. Yeah.
He's a shit lord. He's just a joke.
Yeah,
Nothing
I mean,
else.
So it's just sick how people use that to just make light of the situation when this is still ongoing. Like, how can you do that moments after and just like ha ha ha, have a whole lot of fun? But God, I'm seeing a picture right now. This guy is trying to give a woman CPR. Oh Lord, more pictures are starting to come out from the actual event. You can just I'm seeing like at least 4 dead people in these pictures here on the ground. And it just it brings back to the guy that they had on Fox News. And he was talking.
Sorry about this one, cleaner. I found a video, someone actually filming another area of the shooting. I already posted it on the chat, just to let you know.
Okay, yeah, let me see. Kevin, we're a hotel guest at Delano. Or let's.
All right.
I'm gonna watch this.
I'll go now. All right. Sorry about that.
No, you have a good one. Wow, I'm just hearing these bullets just as like. Jesus Christ, that's insane. I mean, in that 12-second clip that I just heard, I heard like at least 100 bullets just getting fired, like bang, 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 bang. Oh, Jesus. This is really sick. I was trying to. They said that the shooter was shooting from the Mirage or from the Mandalay, and I was looking at this one video here that had just this one person just filming. I don't know how this person was able to just stand there and be so calm and filming. I was trying to catch if there was any like muzzle flashes or like any kind of like idea of where the bullets like were coming. I know they say the 32nd floor, but well, I mean, if you get a video that catches the muzzle flashes, it puts it into like a more perspective. You get it in your mind. Okay, he was here. He was shooting down like on these people, completely open view, and it was like fish in a barrel. It was literally fish in a barrel, and that's where it goes back to the whole thing of this was planned out. These people knew that this festival was going on. It was a 3-day festival. They knew it was going to go down. They knew a lot of people were going to be there. They did it when Aldine was on stage. He's a big country singer, so they knew that a lot of people were going to be there for that particular part of the night for the concert. So they definitely knew what they were doing. This wasn't just a one-off. This wasn't just I don't think this was a disgruntled worker. This was somebody who had training, who had planned this, and had other people helping them out. Concord just sent me something of Sky News. Just interviewed young woman, 20, who said that she met her Hispanic woman who told them that they were all going to die tonight. As they were interviewing, they cut the interview short so they could talk to the authorities. It looked like she definitely spoke to a girlfriend or wife of the shooter.
Yeah, that was the tweet I was...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, that's what I'm just seeing right now. So, I mean, there was a MSNBC video with a woman who was told about that. So, I mean, how do you guys chalk that up? What do you think?
I mean, I still think it could just be all men, or maybe one woman or two, but I don't know. There's no way to tell.
There was a woman on
that seems pretty likely.
One of the news stations.
It's like a Keemstar.
Yeah. Yeah. It says that 24 minutes before the shooting, a woman said to her, "You will all die tonight."
Yeah. I mean,
but of course, that's speculation. Like, we don't know. Maybe the woman was on drugs, and she just said that to say it.
I mean, this is Vegas, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning to. Where I'm thinking it could just be a very tragic coincidence that was said and that it actually happened. Jeez. Good Lord, but now you can see, Fox at this point is just like replaying like the moment it started happening. You can just hear this like rat tat 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 going on. So, here's something else that Thomas Wick is Thomas Wichter. This is very strange. The cyclic rate of the weapon is changing. You can hear how it speeds up and it does slow down. And some people are saying that this could be a semi-automatic weapon being used in bump fire. You guys know what a bump fire is?
That's entirely possible.
Yeah, that's like, it's a specifically designed stock to where the trigger, the stock is like free flowing from the rest of the gun. So you could pull the trigger and the recoil of the gun itself causes you to pull the trigger again while you're just holding it down. So you could modify a semi-automatic weapon in that way to make it pretty much shoot as an automatic, because any semi-automatic weapon can shoot as fast as you pull the trigger. So if you can pull the trigger like the Flash, you can make a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic.
Huh. Yikes. Okay. Yeah. And it's called a bump something?
Yeah, it's called, look it up on YouTube. It's called Bump Fire. I have an M1 Garand, and I actually tried it close to like 7, 8 years ago at the range with my uncle, and like my M1 Garand, it didn't have any like adjustable stock, right? It didn't have it modified or anything, but like you take the gun, you put it on your hip, you put your thumb through your jean or pant loop, and like through like the belt loop, and you hold your gun there, and then you pull, you literally use the hand that's holding the stock, not the stock, the barrel of the rifle. You push it forward, and then the recoil of the gun will cause you to shoot the gun really quickly. So I had an ammo Garand. I tried that. I almost broke my thumb when I did it because the recoil was so strong.
Which makes me wonder about the female theory, because our hands aren't exactly muscly.
Yeah.
Somebody else is tweeting it could be a binary trigger. That means 2 triggers. Like, you know, you can shoot with like your index and your middle finger and just go tap 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 tap.
That's a possibility.
I'm
But
gonna
again, that's very
audio.
rapid, and there is.
And if you're going to do that accurately, you need to have some training.
Mm-hmm.
One sec, I'll be right back.
The most likely response is that it was an automatic weapon.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you look up those videos on YouTube of bump firing, it shows a lot of people just having an M1 Garand or like some other semi-automatic weapon, and they just put it through their pant loop and go, and yeah, it changes. And if you see different videos,
The balance would be precarious, though, since they were shooting through a window.
Well, I mean, given that it was probably from a balcony from the hotel, because, you know, at hotels like that, you have a balcony in pretty much every room that's not on the first floor. So that person had a good vantage point. They probably set themselves up, got it all ready to go, and as soon as they were in the right state of mind to do what they wanted to do, they just let the people have it. I mean, it could be automatic, or it could be like we were talking about, bump fire or binary trigger. All of these things are possible, but as we stated before, a lot of this is speculation. We got to figure out what's going on. But since they did kill that shooter at the Mandalay Bay, because the SWAT team stormed the room that the person was in, hopefully in the upcoming, probably in the next day, we'll find out whether or not the gun was modified, whether it was just a regular firearm. But yeah,
I find it very strange that only 2 are confirmed dead. That it's so confusing to me, because I just listened to the shots. Not only was it fucking terrible, but
it was really, really, really rapid, and it sounded rapid pulse is what it sounded like.
yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the levels changing, like the amount, like the gunfire that's changing, because it starts like, you know, it changes a little bit in the in how that in the rate of fire.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wonder where they were. They could have been really far away. Maybe on a roof or something.
I mean, and if it is multiple shooters, that could also account for the change in rate of fire, because guns can overlap, like the fire can overlap from each other, and they could speed. So they could just be using automatics, and it sounds like it's going faster, slower based on how many people are shooting. So
because you would expect with that many shots, you would expect reload time, at least a brief second where things have gone quiet, and I haven't heard anything like that.
well, I actually did hear like the one extended video I heard the first volley of like maybe around like 50 rounds or so, and then there was like at least 5 seconds, and then that long just like just like, so I'm thinking if somebody was reloading, they probably change clips to something bigger, like with a higher capacity for rounds, like a drum, because that's what's coming out in social media, that possibly that they're using a high capacity clip. And of course, those are extremely illegal. Like I guarantee you, as of right now, whether or not they were using a legal firearm or an illegal firearm, one of two things have. They were using an illegal firearm with illegal clips, possibly illegal ammo, or they were using a legal firearm in an illegal fashion, such as bump firing, because bump firing is actually illegal. You're not supposed to be doing that.
Also, putting bullets in people.
Yeah, that's also illegal.
That's an illegal fashion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. That's my bad, but that can.
No, it's fine.
Like using here, like one of the first thing they teach you is like, don't point your gun at anything. Like when you're using a firearm, don't point at anything that you don't intend to shoot. And so these people intended to mass shoot dozens of people. I think that if the death toll stands where it is, 2 people, possibly 20, that would be, in my mind, somewhat of a positive, because of the amount of people that were there and the amount of rounds that were fired. Like so many people got lucky, or these people were like bad shots, or like they couldn't see properly, or any kind of other contingent. But if the death toll stays where it is, I will be happy with that, because it shows that it could have been a lot worse, like a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
If the current count is accurate, then it could have been so much worse, and we should just be happy that they shoot like stormtroopers.
Yep.
God. All right, let me shoot Chris' message here.
I was in such a good mood too. not that matters that much, but I just like finished doing a video.
Drawing, anime, getting ready for bed. It was good.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'll have to ask you about that picture that you're drawing for me.
I'm working on it. I have a rough idea that I've scribbled out, but it looks like a stick figure right now and doesn't actually look like a drawing. So
don't forget the caption, though.
Oh, I gotta follow you.
I will not forget the caption.
You do art?
Oh, she's really good at it too.
What's your thing? Twitter.
Nicole 22185. I can maybe find you and.
Yeah, Rubber here. He's kind of a big deal, so.
I'm sure he thinks so.
I'm a big deal for like my 15 minutes of fame. I was, and I'm done. I must have spelt Nicole wrong. So yeah.
It's spelled like Steve.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, the police are doing the police are having their interview, or not their press conference right now. I'm going to turn this up. Maybe I can hear a little bit.
Oh yeah.
401. These are the plates registered to the suspect.
Oh, apparently they're listing off the suspect's vehicle. Apparently he's from Tucson. That means Arizona. So the suspect's from Arizona.
The headquarters here at the police department at 400 South Martin Luther King to receive any phone calls from family contact them. So that number will be established here shortly, and we'll get it out.
I don't know if you guys can hear this or not.
Shortly.
Yeah, I can.
Anybody that may have cell phone video or any type of video associated with this event that would be a benefit to the investigation, please respond to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department headquarters at 400 South Martin Luther King, and we will take custody of that video. So if you have it, you evaluate it, and you think it would be a benefit, please bring that down to the headquarters. So family members, if you are unable to call, or you do not want to wait for a call, you want to respond in person, we have set up.
Well, I just saw the video, like, Aldine, I think it's Jason Aldine or whatever, I forgot his first name, but he's just running off stage.
So you will be contacted by a police officer here at the headquarters, and they will direct you to where you need to go. Standing with me is
but no, I saw graphic images on Twitter coming out that I saw at least 4 different people covered in blood on the ground, like in like the area where the crowd was standing. So at least I'd have to say, as of right now, at least 4 people are dead.
And excess of 20 plus that have died.
Oh shit! They just said it right then. 20 plus people have been killed.
As soon as we can, but please bear with us. This is an ongoing investigation, but we are comfortable that the primary aggressor in this event has expired or passed away and is no longer a threat. There's been multiple phone calls and accusations or conjecture coming through social media that there's multiple shooters at other resorts. That has been proven to be false.
Okay, so multiple shooters is false.
Wow.
That there's some explosives going on. That is all.
I never heard anything about explosives.
Yeah, that's
new. Yeah, but apparently other active shooters at other locations is false.
That there is no longer a threat, other than we are.
So the active shooter situation is over.
So we're most likely looking at an isolated person, and
well, I'm even if it was just one person shooting, I guarantee this person didn't act alone. I mean, there's too much. There is too much set up in the proper ways for this person to get away with all this damage they did, to where they, even if nobody else did shooting, they helped coordinate and help plan this. It's kind of like you see in Europe a lot of the time when there was a terrorist attack, they arrest a lot of people afterwards that had something to do with it. So, wow, 20 plus dead plus 100 plus injured. That's the count as of right now. 20 dead, 100 plus people have been injured.
Well, so much for 2 people dead.
right?
Yeah. At the hospital, one in critical condition.
One police officer is in critical, and one police officer has minor injuries. So 2 police officers as of right now have been hurt. 2, one critically and one minor.
We don't have those individuals identified at this point. I don't know the sequence of events on that. Right now, we believe it's
so that's something too. The only shooter is dead.
Yes.
So there's like no hope of. I mean,
We're
little hope.
probably not going to get a lot of information on their motives.
We're probably not going to get a lot of information in the next day or so about ethnicity, ideology, anything. But I guarantee you, as soon as they identify this person, if they did have a social media, that is going to be scrutinized up and down, left to right, front and back. Like, they will tear it apart.
Yeah.
So we could probably come back together at some point later in the week when we have more information and retouch on the subject at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, I think.
I'd be interested.
I can't give you that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, yeah, I'll probably end this stream now, because continuing it would just be Monday, like redundant, and have
A lot of
served no
repeating
purpose.
ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we've said our piece. We've had our certain level of speculation going on, but we will leave it at that. That after the official statement coming out from the police department from Las Vegas is that 20 people plus dead. Well, that's plus, so we don't know if it's. So it's anywhere from 20 to 30, and then 100 plus injured. So the final numbers still have to come out. They'll probably be coming out probably in the morning or sometime in the afternoon today. But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. That 20 plus are dead, and that 100 plus are injured, and that it was just one shooter, but the shooter is now deceased. The active shooter situation is over, and we'll finish it off, guys, with saying that this was a horrible, horrific, that's redundant.
Tragedy.
Yeah, horrible set of events that happened, and it should never have happened, but we will find out why it happened soon once the investigation gets underway. So anyway, guys, this has been Swamp Canoe Harry here with Insanity, and with my good buddy Robert Dorkey. Check them both out on social media. And everybody who's watching, keep your eyes on social media and mainstream media for the updates for what's going on here. So as of right now, we are going to call it quits. So you guys have a good night. Stay safe and pray for everybody that is in Las Vegas. And you guys have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right. Stream is.
Stay positive. Holy shit, this was a downer. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, this.
I asked Harry to send you my Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
But yeah,
yeah,
I draw.
I'll do that.